is solid evidence against spending. So could it be that some of the alibi who were there had actually, spoken to the police? So these are things that we need to think about. But I do not think that, I don't think that, the police cannot proceed, without the inquest. Yes, sweetheart. So I think they can actually do that. If they have enough evidence to proceed, yes, they can do that. But one thing that I do not want is I don't want the police to go ahead and intimidate spending. I don't want the police to go ahead and try to rob spending. I don't want the police to try, in a way and try to botch this case because of favorism. That is not going to go well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I want to ask.
Can I say something?
So, I want to ask a quick question. The people that were charged to court, how many are they? Is he only spending?
So, and after I speak, Escapade is going to go for it. From the intel was supposed to be today, but it did not happen. It's supposed to be spending and the nurse, but it did not happen. They were supposed to be
two of them
today, 2 people. Okay.
Yeah, I heard that too, and I think that is something that is alluded to that. But Escape, please go on. I will talk after.
Yes. What I believe, if there's going to be a case in court against those 2 people, it will be based on what is already established. Aristocrat said earlier about maybe they got intel or information that Spending spoke with the nurse and they were complicit in the death of Mohbad. One, Mohbad's death has not actually been determined a homicide or a murder, whatever. This is for the inquest to try and figure out. But the 2 things that have been established that do not need to wait for the inquest to end, which I believe would probably be the reason those 2 will be taken to court, is one, the nurse admitted injecting Mohbad. She already even faced the medical board, and they found out that she wasn't qualified to operate in that capacity without being. They said she's an auxiliary nurse. I would have needed an expert, a nurse or a doctor to be there. She should be assisting them. One, she has violated the law. 2, she has committed an offense. So for that, they can take her to court. The second thing that is established that do not need to wait for the inquest to end is Spending admitting that he prescribed the nurse. So these 2 things, I believe, is probably why they want to take those ones to court to sort that out, which do not need for the inquest to end. In terms of they killed or murdered or they conspired, I don't think they can take that to court at the moment because the fact of that has not even been established. So this is what I see, and if there's a case going on, this is the reason I think those 2 will be taken to court. I don't think it has anything to do with, they know about the death. If they knew if they were complicit and police got intel that they were complicit on the death of Mohbad, they would be remanded. For murder, there's no bail. You will be in prison and you'll be doing your case there. So right now, they would already have been arrested and put in prison. So I think the case they have against them is the one that is established. Like I said earlier, the nurse admitted, even faced the medical board and admitted she practiced when she's not qualified to, and Spending admitting that he recommended the nurse. So that's what I think.
Okay. A quack nurse. I don't think she went to nursing school at all. So if you are using the word failed.
Supreme, I didn't say failed. She faced, after the police had started this matter, she faced the board, the medical board.
Okay. You said she faced them.
She
failed the board exam. Okay.
So they decided that she wasn't fit to practice. Yeah.
Yes, I think she practiced out of her scope. Okay, everybody knows that they called her a quack nurse, and she practiced outside her scope of conduct. She practiced, she was supposed to be under a doctor or somebody on a registered nurse or somebody like that, but she practiced outside her scope. But in that same panel that she faced, they also, according to what I was privy to, not privy as in specially, but that is out there in the public that I read. I may not know where now. I remember reading thank you, Gifters. I remember reading some things like, but she gave everything accurately. She gave everything. There was no codonsa. There was no overdose, no nothing. And what was found, just like Aristocrat said, in Mohbad's system was just minute, insignificant, that can kill even a baby.
Lady Aries, sorry, just 1 minute. About
You just came up. You cannot speak if you just came up. Go down.
About 1 minute. Lady Aries, thank you, Gifters. What I'm saying is that whether she gives the right dose, if you are caught, if you are driving on the road and police stops you, if you haven't broken any law and they find that you don't have a driver's license, you are committed an offense. If you get what I'm saying.
True.
So whether she gave right dose or she did, she's been doing it before. She's been treating people. Even her mom said it. So it's not like she didn't know what to do or whatever she did, but she practiced.
I'm not exonerating her.
Oh, okay,
I'm only trying to speak. I mean, you see, this practice of the nurses going to homes to treat people in Nigeria is very rampant. I remember even my grandfather was a doctor. We have a midwife, my aunties and stuff like that. But they do a lot of things at home. I'm not saying that it is okay, but I'm just putting this data. I'm not trying to buy. No, in fact, it's a system failure. And, but coming back to Mohbad's case, she did that. She accepted that. I don't think she should. Listen to this, please, very carefully. If what they found in Mohbad's system is not enough to kill him or kill a fly, I don't think Nurse Feyi should go down for the death of Mohbad. But she should face disciplinary actions for practicing outside her scope. But because you were sick, I come to your house, I give you Tylenol, I give you antibiotics, and I give you one will be more intense than the other. That is what I'm trying to project in this case.
Because Lady, you are looking at it like the case.
I only use your example.
I get what you are saying, because you are looking at it with the prosecution being that it is linked to the death of Mohbad. I'm saying no, because that has not been established yet.
So
the fact that she practiced.
Then why are they bringing these people up?
Because she practiced. It's a criminal offense.
Like this. Let's do it like this. Whether or whether you are, for example, let me use the driving case you just gave. A learner, someone that is yet to get a full driver's license, but is still in the driving school. And that person now took a vehicle without a chaperone seated beside the person and went on a highway and hit someone and the person died. That is this case. It's a classical one to look at this. Number one, you are a driver in training. You do not have the legal right to drive without being supervised. An auxiliary nurse does not only assist a qualified nurse. You cannot do it on your own. So if you now go to do a duty on your own, you have violated the law. Number one. Number two, you in your action have caused death. That is murder. So those two matters will be on that person's neck.
Manslaughter.
So whether manslaughter, murder, ashani, if you can use any nomenclature for it. Now, when the matter goes for sanction, those two key things will be determined. They will not be determined based on their merit. So it is not for us to say, why should this person now be charged? Why should this person charges to be lenient? Because the person gave the right, the person drove well, he was on the right lane, he did not get to the fast lane, but while he was on the non-fast lane, that person rode a bicycle and crossed the road and he died. Now all those one, now story. The key thing is someone is dead. The key thing is you are not authorized to drive the vehicle. That makes it illegal. So those things will be faced in court. Assuming it was a nurse that did that thing, there will be some form of leniency, understanding that the nurse, and just like what CH0K3 said, had gone to the board has identified that whatever the person has done were right according to their procedure, but that is a death. If it were to be a nurse, it will be a different thing. They will look at it in a different way. Even if there will be some form of punishment, it will not be at the full extent of saying the person that did it was not in the first instance qualified to do that. So you have used your illegality to commit death of someone else. That is a grave offense. And I think we should just see it at that. So we leave it for court to be determined. Let them come with their lawyers and let them sort it out.
Yes. We leave that for the court and everybody's lawyer to argue their case.
Yes, I want to answer this question for someone. Sorry. Someone asked this question and said, how would they determine a medication that was given to someone and the person is dead? This is how they would determine it. Every medication have end of life. Let me give you a typical example. Paracetamol. I don't know the name they call it abroad, in America, for example, but it's a pain reliever, painkiller. Now, when you take paracetamol, it has 8 hours end of life. 8 hours. What that end of life means is when the potency will wear off. So doctor will tell you, take 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 at night. If you check what it means, they've divided 24 hours to 3, and that is 8 divided by 24 hours. So if and when you die, for example, when you take a medication, your body is supposed to process it. When you die, your body cannot process anything again. So that medication will still be in your bloodstream. That is why it will be easy when they take a sample from you through toxicology to get what is in that person's mainstream. And it has to be determined. For example, someone took painkiller 12 noon and the person died 3 p.m. You could see that there is an extra 5 hours that will determine the end of life of that drug. So if the person died at 3 p.m., when you want to do autopsy or you want to do toxicology for that person, you will find that drug in that person's mainstream because the body have not used it. Your body must use the drug and it will not have efficiency again. So if the body have not used the drug, they will find it in your bloodstream. I hope I've been able to answer that person's question. Go on, please.
All right, can I come in, Supreme? I mean, first of all, I want us to look at this. Nurse Feyi that we are talking about. Is this lady really a nurse? That's the question that needs to be asked. Was Nurse Sheriff, whatever her name is, Farah, whatever her name is, was she called?
Feyi Shara.
Feyi Shara. Okay, thank you for that. Was the nurse called to cover up an homicide case? Sorry, an homicide. Was she called to do that? We need to look at that. Then secondly, the notion that painkillers cannot kill, I think we should rule that out. Excessive amounts of any painkiller.
No. Are they doing?
Hold on, sir.
Are they doing?
Yeah.
Nobody said painkiller cannot kill you. Nobody said so.
No, Mr.
Nobody said painkiller cannot kill.
Mr. Aristocrat.
Nobody. It was not in discussion at all.
I know. I'm not actually talking to you. I'm just saying it. This is a general statement, okay? So
No. I'm not saying you are talking to me.
Okay, sir.
Generally on this matter,
Okay, sir.
no one says painkiller cannot kill.
Okay.
Nobody refers
All right,
to it.
because,
we are
I
only
have
referring
heard-
to substance that were determined through the toxicology.
in Mohbad system, good. Because I have heard on some platforms that the medication that the nurse gave Mohbad couldn't have killed him. E.g., the painkiller. The point is this: an excessive amount of painkillers can actually damage the organs of your body. Vital organs.
I understand where you are going through and where you want to take us to is going to be very educative but it's not applicable in this case. There's been a toxicology that has revealed that the amount that was found on his body is
It's not enough to kill
nothing.
Mohbad.
We all know pain. If you take a whole bottle of Tylenol, you will damage your liver and pipe. We know that.
Yes.
But
Okay,
we want
definitely.
to stay in this hemisphere or in this premise of Mohbad's case. I don't want it to be broad.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Broadening the case. I won't go today.
Okay, then I apologize.
No,
Then,
that's okay.
okay, thank you so much. Then let's look at Nurse Feyi Shara. Nurse Feyi Shara, first of all, just like Aristocrat said, she actually did the wrong thing. If Nurse Feyi Shara is a nurse, she did not do the right thing.
No, Feyi Shara is not a nurse. We have already established that, according to what Escapade also said and Aristocrat said earlier, she is not a nurse. She's
an auxiliary nurse.
She did not. I think she's did not go to nursing school. Okay,
no, but is she an auxiliary nurse?
The police report used the word quack.
Okay,
auxiliary nurse is not a nurse.
That means I think Feyi Shara is someone that trained under all these muiwas in around the muiwa. Not she didn't go to a proper nursing school. It's like you
she's not licensed to be a nurse
in Ekorodu. She went to learn a trade.
Okay. She's an ẹni tó máa ń bá wọn palẹ̀ mọ́ ni.
They will just go and learn.
Then I support Aristocrat. Okay, then I support Aristocrat because I was going to say something else, but I support Aristocrat. Then I don't need to go further because it's going to.
I mean, of course, I support them, and that is what is on ground for us. Or let me allow Amen to come in. Amen, you came in. Please come into this case. I support everybody, but my thing is, I'm only just trying to take it a step further. That my question. Go ahead, Amen. I don't want to say what I want to say.
Yeah, what's the topic? Is it about whether it is right to charge Nurse Feyi Shara, or it's going to fail if they charge her or something? Is that the discourse?
Amen. You missed the report. That was a news report from the lawyers of spending that is trying to create alarm that police will charge spending and the nurse to court on the matter. That they are not waiting for the final conclusion of the inquest. That they are rushing to court to charge their client. And the fuel is a way to just, hang the cat and all that. So that is the main broad thing. And that is the discussion.
Okay. Someone say case went to court via DPP today. Magistrate, not on street.
Yes. I don't even know. Maybe
what's that?
DPP.
Drew. What does that mean? Okay, you see, if the lawyer is coming out to voice out, I think he should have taken steps to do any other person he feels was supposed to come in on this matter. Spending's lawyer can file a petition against either Baba or the Wunmi or any other person in that house. Prime Boy's lawyer can file a petition of murder of those persons. Even the Nurse Feyi Shara lawyer can also do that. And if they want to do that, I think in my own view is even the best step. Instead of coming out on the news to come on, well, they've come out to cry out that this is what they are trying to play. But my own advice would be for them to take that step. That's what
they are trying to get public sympathy. That is what they want to do.
Then you see this issue of this nurse. Even if she agreed that she gave injection to Mohbad and he reacted to that injection, this same person can change her statements in court. That is why you see that when you are charging someone for manslaughter, murder, the court will usually enter a plea of not guilty, even if the person's plead guilty. Now, what we need to be looking at is, if you want to sit on the nurse, you can convict her. Why? Because the requirement is that your action caused the death of someone, and you know that that action of yours is capable of causing death to someone. That is the aspect of the intention. So it is the actus reus and mensura, actions and intention. So there is no way the nurse can claim that she does not know that medications, chemicals into somebody's body when injected, and you do not have the complete qualification to understand what should go into one's body, and all of that. You know that that action can result into death. So if they want to charge the nurse, they can stand on that. However, if the nurse also want to stand on defense, she can also discard that how is it called, confession that she gave injection and he started reacting to it. Why? Because their statement revealed that Mohbad ate food, and then also the quick burial of Mohbad has interfered with whatever investigation you really need to do on the body, and she was not even there when they came back from the show. Mohbad could have consumed certain things that nobody could have known about, and even she herself may not be informed of it and all of that. And then when she gave the injection, at a point when you study the statement of this woman, the wife of Mohbad at the inquest, when they were trying to ask her at what point, like, was there disconnection between what did you do to the nurse and all of that, she said she sat with the nurse down to the hospital, and that was where the story of the nurse disappeared from their testimony. Nobody knew how she left the house, nobody knew anything that happened and all of that, and then you did not go back to get her to do whatever you needed to do. You moved the body, you did whatever you wanted to do. Nurse did not confirm to you that she saw Mohbad died after reacting to whatever injection she gave him, and it is possible that the injection she gave him may have been made to react on his body like that because there was another thing on his body, and all of that, which she cannot know. So they can also clear off and defend the nurse with respect to the mother of Mohbad. However, the nurse will be pinned down for impersonation if she's not a nurse or all of that, and then going to practice what she's not qualified to practice. There are offenses that are out there that she can be convicted for, not necessarily the mother of Mohbad. So it's possible that if they have more evidence to discredit whatever defense that may come, fine, it's possible the nurse can be convicted for murder or manslaughter, and it's possible that it can be discarded completely, they can be discharged, you understand? So but for the lawyer to come out and cry, if they want something to be done, the only option now is for a proper petition to be put out there against the persons that were in that house, the persons that were with Mohbad before was given, the process of burial, when the father came to the house, people he saw, and all of that. And let's see how the authorities will not attend to it. So I think this is my only submission for now.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful. Let me clap.
Whoa.
There you go. I was distracted. Even though you just say you agree with aristocrats after
You will not give to Escape.
but Jimmy Escape to jet clap off from AG.
Let me.
I mean, Supreme. Just to add to what Amin said, the nurse can also, from what we've heard so far, we were told that the nurse said that somebody asked her to give Mohbad some of those medication that Mohbad got. So, and if that is the case, whoever told the nurse to do that will also go down.
But that is conditional.
How?
The nurse has to say that in the court. These people need to talk.
That's what I'm saying.
And
So if they don't say it, what can we do?
That's
The
right.
funny part of this whole process, these lawyers representing spending and maybe Prime Boy, they need to understand something, that the process at the inquest is not invalidated by the non-conclusion of the inquest and not having the judge write a report based on the testimonies at that inquest. The moment that inquest was properly set up, the coroner has the jurisdiction to take testimonies. And the moment any person goes into that witness box and testified under oath, that testimony is admissible before any court at any place. So whatever it is that has been said by any person before the inquest, for example, what the nurse has not even come to testify at the inquest. Exactly. Whatever has been said at the inquest will carry more weight than whatever the nurse said at the station there, because the nurse can raise and can decide to raise an objection of duress while making those confessions and all of that. So those lawyers can rely on the full records of what has been done at the inquest so far and use it to either put out a petition and still keep it and use it as defense if the state insists that they want to prosecute this matter in any way they want to do it. If maybe they want to just prosecute it and have it discharged and everybody goes his way. You understand? So, but that's the content of that inquest can be used. It is even what I am relying on heavily, along with other testimonies and facts that have
heavily.
Yes.
When they are all have been saying about rebe robo.
At the inquest.
Please say that in English. What is Rabba rebe robo?
What's the English one? Rabba rebe
inquest. The inquest has been able to establish certain things.
Okay, I want to start woto. No more legal issue. I'm done.
I don't do woto. I beg me, I go run leave now.
Amen. Yeah, it's true. I want to do woto with.
He said he doesn't want to do woto. Rabbi first.
Give me Lori. This is not. I only have the key. I didn't say I'm moving the location. I said I have the key
for
the inquest. I didn't say I move the location. That's 10 o'clock.
We go change the log. We don't change the inquest log. You don't get the key again. You don't change the log of the inquest.
Let me quickly add to what Aristocrat said to paint a better picture, right? I mean, the scenario that Aristocrat painted about the car, somebody driving and then getting an accident, is looking at the north side. So now let me try and put something to it to include spending. So now let's see that, okay, the driver that was driving the car does not have a license, but the car belongs to me. And I said, oh, go and use that car on the errand. Do you not think that I would also be liable to whatever happened? That how come I gave my car to somebody that does not have a license to drive?
In America, I think you might be liable if the driver is a minor.
Exactly. So even if it's not a minor, I mean, here, if it would not be it wouldn't be insured on the car anyway, because obviously it doesn't have a license. So how can you give your car to somebody that is uninsured on your car and you're not even sure can drive? So this is the bit where spending would then come in. That why would you recommend somebody that you are not sure is qualified or whatever?
Let me even tell you one thing that actually baffles me with spending. I will tell you, and I'm not being biased. I know a lot of people think I'm supporting Prime Boy. I am not supporting Prime Boy, but looking at that one and the narratives that is out there, I don't believe Prime Boy did that. And Wunmi actually said he didn't hit back. And in the process of trying to hit somebody and you pierce your hand or you hurt yourself, even if he sustained that injury from there, to me, it's not a ground for him to become the prime suspect. Okay? So I have to do that disclaimer. I am not supporting Prime Boy by any means. I just don't want a wrongful conviction. That's all. Now, speaking about spending.
No, finally, we got to be able to convict Prime Boy because there is too much tampering with evidence and so much activities that happened after that fight.
Thank you. Now, going to spending. My doubt is very weighty on spending because That is why I said all these TikTok people, Prime Boy came to my platform. I refuse to interrogate or interview or ask any question. These people that were parading these suspects and trying to use them to play to chase clout and to have views, actually also mess up this case. Because Spending lied, told Westo something else, told Moses and Co. when they went to visit them something else, told Kudi something else, told Lati something else, told something else on Bukky Jesse's, and all of these things are being recorded. Now, I've mentioned it earlier. We have discussed this extensively prior in this show that is not ended yet. That Queen actually is really fighting very hard for Spending, blah blah blah. But Queen says something that Spending was only in Nigeria for 4 months prior to Mohbad's death. So if he was only in Nigeria 4 months prior to Mohbad's death, how did Spending know the nurse? And nurse, no man treats me. Is it within that 4 months? Or prior to him leaving? And Queen told me Spending is only 23 years old. Some people say 25. Queen told me 23, but let's say 25. I mean, how many times was he sick that the nurse came and treated him? And for someone that just came from Kenya, according to Queen, said Spending came from Kenya, I'm so many things surround Spending for me. And I'm not being biased. Because he said 9 p.m. one time. He said, Lawson, be in Kagometa somewhere. He said, be in Agomejila somewhere else. He said something that the boss man and go, we have recording. So it's too much for me. Too much. For me, at least, Prime Boy so far, whatever he said, he's been, if there are any discrepancies, maybe 1 or 2, but he's been consistent with his submission. Okay. So I'm very skeptical about Spending. Spending was born and raised in Nigeria, yeah. I was born and raised in Nigeria too, but I'm in America, and that does not mean he cannot go to Kenya. It was back to whatever Queen is to Spending said, he was in Kenya. And I know he was born and raised in Nigeria. I don't know when he went to Kenya, but he was only in Nigeria or Lagos for 4 months prior to Mohbad's demise. And Mohbad was the one that called him modernization. That was what Queen told me back then. So I don't know.
He may have been in Kenya for months now.
I think that is a key point, and it's a valid key point. So, what I want to say is that I don't think we should look at the duration of or the time between Spending knowing the nurse and when Spending called the nurse. Really, I'm not sure if I think that is going to come to play. But another thing we should look at is this: why should Spending be charged? That's the question that needs to be asked.
I think that is what
So now, Spending. Did Spending actually know that Nurse Feyi was a quack nurse? That's the question. Did he know that Feyi was a quack nurse? And if Spending did not know that maybe Spending can actually twist this. I'm not teaching Spending what to do. Spending can actually tell the court that Feyi did not tell me the truth. And I'm sorry, lawyers tell lies. Please forgive me. Spending can actually turn this around. Nurse Feyi told me it wasn't a quack nurse. So, and I think that, when you go back and forth and you look at this case, from the onset, I have said something. After listening to Spending on a ladies' platform called, I think, Bukky Jesse, I listened to him and I found out that some of the things that this guy was saying on that platform did not match. And while he was speaking, I was debunking him. I said, you are not telling the truth. You are not telling the truth. So now this is a message for Spending. Spending, if you actually love yourself, seriously, you need to tell the truth of what happened. You need to have a press report. You need to speak out. You need to speak. Did you see Prime Boy? Prime Boy spoke out. He said what you know, and you need to speak out too. Because if your lawyer is advising you not to speak, I don't think they're doing you any good. They are not doing you any good. The better, and you need to be consistent with your statements. You are not consistent. You are here today, tomorrow you are there. And also remember what Yeye Kudi said. I'm sorry, permit me to mention your name, Yeye Kudi. She said that she has a statement that you made to her and a guy called Boss Man. Could that have, you have spoken already. You have spoken your truths. You told them what happened. And you trying to cover this up is going to land you in jail. That's the truth. First of all, for you knowing the truth and trying to cover up the truth is a crime. It is a big crime. When you witness a crime and you do not tell the truth about the crime, you will be liable for that. And you need to understand that.
So shall we say that, we can't just be one way. You mentioned the name now. You're saying that they claim that they have a statement, they have audio. This same boy came out and said they should release the audio or the statement. They haven't come out. So you can't say because they said so you believe them and you say you don't believe the guy. It's good that they are going to let him go and tell his story there, but I don't think this one is even related to the death yet. Like I said, it's probably the nurse